Are you sometimes sad? Well, it is okay to feel that way, but as long as you take good care of yourself, you would eventually have numerous chances to be happy. But meanwhile, we can cheer ourselves up by making objectively the happiest hard dance genre, happy hardcore. Hey, can you stop? Yeah, can you keep quiet? Well, I know the drill, you know the drill, we're gonna briefly explore the background of happy hardcore, then with the knowledge, we will create objectively the most terrible, most diabolical, the baddest of the bad, the worstest of the worst happy hardcore we can think of. For starters, this genre is relatively fast, ranging from 160 to 180 BPM, often combining rave music with uplifting melodies, emotional vocals, bright synths, and rave pianos, sometimes. Unlike most other hardcore genres, which usually have darker themes, happy hardcore is known for its uplifting and energetic vibes. Originally, happy hardcore emerged from the UK and Dutch rave scenes in the early to mid-1990s, pioneered by artists like Paul Elstak and Scott Brown. Sure, UK and Dutch styles of happy hardcore have the differences, but it doesn't really matter because by the 2000s, the genre gave way to the modern UK hardcore sound, and the original scene was effectively dead as it's not popular anymore. Later, artists like DJ Searle helped bring the sound into the internet, gaming, anime, and meme culture, introducing it to a whole new generation of listeners. From there, different online communities developed their own interpretations of the genre, especially with the Japanese rhythm game and J-core scenes. But that type of music is really difficult to produce well, so I'm not going to be talking about it anytime soon. So, when I say happy hardcore this instance, I'm referring to DJ Searle's internet's haha funny hardcore stuff. He's one of the main reasons why I'm here creating videos right now, because let's just say one of his songs or collaborations opened my eyes to peak music. Okay, now back to destroying the genre. Sure, happy hardcore sounds a lot more modern than its mid-1990s counterparts, but the fact that it is fast, uplifting, energetic never changed. So we shall start with finding the vocals from Splice. I tried using the search with the sound describer for the first time ever, but apparently it doesn't understand what a major scale is. We want our vocals to be ultimately tuned to the C major scale because it is the happiest and silliest sounding scale ever. After a bit of filtering, I chose the first result. My sunny boo. This is great because it is very slow, which is unfitting for our happy hardcore vibe. Now we can tune it to our scale, then shift it as high as possible with the assistance of some plugins. It is common knowledge that if your vocals don't all sound like chipmunks, you aren't producing hard enough. Now, I kept browsing, hoping to find some ad-libs or supporting vocals we can maybe use to put in the song, and came across some very emotional anime sounds for game audio. Never heard of that genre before, but I think it could work pretty well for our song. Moving on, we need to make the iconic reverse bass for happy hardcore. The thing is, if you play a bass sound and a kick at the correct tempo, it already gives off the happy hardcore vibe. The problem with this is that if we keep it simple using spectrally rich sounds, it will just work. So I've decided to add glorp by using the glorperizer filter automation and reduce the consistency using randomness and phase interference with two different random starting position serum glorp basses. For real though, when you're trying to not make the worst song ever, be very careful that phase interference doesn't unintentionally happen when stacking lower frequency sounds together, but in our case, we want to maximize unintentional phase interference. For the drums, happy hardcore usually goes for short and punchy kicks. Kicks that have a long tail may make the reverse bass sound muddy in faster genres, like the one we're making. The punchy nature of the kick makes sure that the feeling stands out among all the wide and rich sounds in the treble area. But for us, we just need to find the weakest kick in Ableton and get the rest of the drum kit with it. Now, we move on to the most exciting part. No, not the kicks this time, the leads. One of the reasons, in my opinion, why happy hardcore is more mainstream than other harder styles is because of the melodies. Whether they are in the form of vocals or leads, melodies are always designed to be as catchy as possible, making the songs quite easy to hum. On top of making it easy to hum, we have to pump as much ear candy and richness into it as possible. These effects include but are not limited to note glides, aka portamento, pitch bending, rhythmic chords that trigger on every note of the melody, and very fast broken chords for the digital video game vibe. Here is a tiny generic example. This is the original melody. This is some portamento introduced manually. This is automatic portamento where the note glides from the last note to the current note. And this is when we bend every note upwards to its correct pitch. There is no best method, but in my opinion, manual gliding sounds better on fast melodies like in happy hardcore, whereas pitch bend upwards method is good for more powerful melodies like festival anthems. But the great thing is that you can always mix, stack, and match with the original configuration. For this demo, I chose the manual pitch gliding for the layers, as well as the broken chords and rhythmic chords. Here are the layers. If you want to know why I chose each sound specifically, I just guessed and got lucky. If you also want to get lucky designing your saw stacks in almost any genre, I talked about it in my video description. Okay, let's take a step back. That was too much brain nourishment. Instead, let me tell you what you should absolutely not do for leads in happy hardcore. It is to set the portamento time too long such that the sound never reaches the pitch of the shortest note. This will make the whole song sound extremely atonal or drunk. So that is what we're going to do for the song we're making. For the melody, we will just keep it simple, using only the 5 notes of the major scale, transposing the notes over 3 octaves. There is usually never a reason to have a melody that is supposed to be easily hummable, spanning over 3 octaves, so this will be perfect. Also, I added a glor player to this pigeon nest of a synth stack. Okay, now it is time to put it all together. For the arrangement, it is 1 intro, 1 build-up, and 1 drop. I also added this very irritating piano arpeggio thing, which is pi notes every quarter beat using a piano VST, so that is more joy to the polyrhythm enjoyers who like my videos. I hear you all. For the reverse bass, I decided that it would be very epic if the bass gradually pitches upwards and clashes with all the other sounds, creating a strong sense of doom. For the mixing, I put most sounds into the same octave range and made sure that every frequency fights with each other without clipping the master. Even as a bit in a video like this, clipping a master is still a no-go. Finally, it isn't the worst song ever if we don't also put a random polyrhythm scale somewhere. In our case, it'll be 14 notes across 4 beats. And I think that will be it. How exciting! Cue the final product. I think that is more than enough. This was one of the most eye-watering songs I've ever created. I even caught myself tearing up a few times while producing it. Very emotional. Very epic. So what do you think I can do to make it sound worse? On the other hand, if you have some sick nasty production tricks for producing good happy hardcore, feel free to also share it with us. I am already doing the music production community a great disservice. If you found this video amusing, I also attempted to make the worst dubstep ever, as well as a few other genres. You may like and subscribe if you feel like it, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. Take care, y'all.